Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, December 27th, about 10:35 in the morning. Getting ready to, I just finished doing a cameo and I've got a couple more book orders, so I'm going to be heading off to the post office again. And then I'm going to do this last track for this project that I've been asked to do, like these 5 songs on. And I got the 5th song. I just charted it all out, and I will do a couple of passes and send that off. Hopefully everything's good, and we're getting ready next week from Thursday. We are doing another band photo shoot, so I'll have to organize some black t-shirts, I guess. I don't polish up that well. And tomorrow is our clubhouse meeting, our live stream meeting. And then this coming Saturday, the 31st, is our one-on-one FaceTime and Skypes. And that seems to be filling up, which is great. I didn't know how that would go on New Year's Eve, but it seems like it's doing okay. So I'm glad of that. Musically today, boy, I found something that was way back in the archives. Did not remember this project at all. But there it was, and there's my name all over it. So it was a band, originally a Chicago band called The Mob, and we did their album, I believe, in 1975. I've pulled up a few things here just to read about it. It says, The Mob is an American rock, rhythm and blues show band from Chicago, Illinois. The band formed in January of 1966 and earned headline status in every major showroom in Nevada and across the country, including Canada, Puerto Rico, and Hawaii. The Mob disbanded in 1980 and reunited in 2011 to perform together on stage as they were inducted into the South Dakota Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Kind of the history of it was, growing up around Chicago in a teen rock band with horns, Gary Beisbier and Jim Holvey continued their musical experience charting the instrumental Beatle Time on the WLS Silver Dollar Survey as The Livers. After the Caravan of Stars tours, the Chicagoans and the executives Holvey watched the 1951 movie The Mob, envisioned a mob of musicians from a gangster town with pinstripe suits, black shirts, white ties, and carnations. The Mob formed in 1966 with Mike Sistak, Gary Bisbee, Jim Holvey, Dave Heidelberg, Tony Nedza, James Franz, and Dwight Kalb. In mid-1966, Big Al and Little Artie from the group Cain and Abel and Little Artie and the Pharaohs, along with Bobby Rufino from the executives, joined the Mob. The original manager was Joe DeFrancisco. They were the first group from Chicago to include a full horn section, the Chicago horn rock sound. Goes on to talk about Dick Clark's Caravan of Stars tours, and the Mob were used as backup for the other entertainers. Dick Clark's Young World's Fair was held at the International Amphitheater in the Stockyards, and Dick Clark was the master of ceremonies. The Mob played on the Dr. Pepper stage and backed up artists like Freddie Cannon, Paul Revere and the Raiders, Gary Lewis and the Playboys, the Knickerbockers, Billy Joe Royal, Freddie Cannon, Lou Christie, the Mamas and the Papas, the Young Rascals, Sam and Sham and the Pharaohs, the Vogues, the Turtles, and more. And it goes on, talks about all their history. And the thing that surprises me about all this stuff is that we had a whole band that did their record. And it sounds like they were backing everybody else up. So it's really strange, but we did it. And it said the second inaugural of President Nixon and Vice President Spiro Agnew expanded the inaugural concert into 3 separate concerts: American Music Concert, the inaugural Youth Concert, and the Symphonic Concert. Held on Friday, January 19th, 1973. It was the first to be held at the JFK Center for the Performing Arts, and the first to have more than one concert held at one time. And let's see. And then it says October 2010, Don Fritz, president of the South Dakota Rock and Roll Music Association, informed that the Mob was selected under the category bands for induction. It said on 2011 at the Ramkota Exhibit Hall in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, more than 2,000 people came and saw and heard the Mob in person for their first reunion in 35 years. They only did 2 albums. They did one in 1970 and one in 1975, and then there's a compilation album. But I want to go back here and see if I can get some further information. Oh, the album was produced that we did. It was a self-titled album called The Mob, and it was produced by Bones Howe, who I did a number of records with over the years. And let me get some stuff going here. Here's a song called "Get It Up for Love." The band on this is myself on bass, Hal Blaine on drums, Dennis Budimir on guitar, Mike Melvoin on Fender Rhodes, Tony Nedza on piano, Jimmy Ford on flugelhorn and regular horn, Gary Beisbier, or Beisbier, I'm not sure how he pronounces that, and Al Herrera on saxophone, Mike Sistak on trombone, Jimmy Ford on trumpet, Bobby Ruffino on percussion, and Hal Blaine on percussion, and Al Herrera on vocals. So it sounds like some of the guys from the Mob were playing with this, but this was the album from 1975. So let me go ahead and pull this on. Get It Up for Love. I mean, this stuff's really good, man. It really was fun to find this. It's just like I go back into my history, and there's so much that that I can't find. Like trying to find the stuff I did with Jim Nabors and Percy Faith and his orchestra, and a whole bunch of stuff that's just, I remember the sessions, but, finding the product is hard. So this was a fun one to find. So here we are, Get It Up for Love, The Mob, 1975.
Situation. Hard to say just what the outcome will be. If you solve the riddle, you can save your soul. Or change the channels till the river runs cold. Hey, baby. There's a lot
Yeah, got that whole blood, sweat, and tears vibe of that period and everything, and kind of get a little David Clayton Thomas in that. It sounds like these guys were right at the forefront of all of that. Yeah, I always loved doing sessions with Hal Blaine playing drums. Hal was just such a force of nature. And he'd get behind that kit. It was so much fun playing with him. I'd look over at him and he'd just be smiling and just, yeah, he just killed it every time. And, you know, when I was in group therapy and we were doing, not in group therapy, in the band group therapy, and I think back in 1967, and Mike Post was producing our album, and I'm looking at the names on here, and it really was fun. Hal Blaine played on our stuff, Dennis Budimir played on our stuff, Mike Melvoin played on our stuff, and then here I found myself a couple of years later playing with these guys every day. It was really amazing. Okay, here's one. This is called Hot Music. Let me see who's on this one. Okay, so pretty much the same lineup here. Myself, Hal Blaine, Dennis Budimir, Tony Nedza, Mike Melvoin, Jimmy Ford, Gary Bisbier, Al Herrera, Mike Sistak on trombone, Jimmy Ford on trumpet, and Bobby Ruffino on percussion, and Al Herrera on vocals. So here we go. Let me pull this one out here. Hot Music. And according to this, it was arranged by Mike Melvoin, Jules Alexander, and Gary Bisbier, and produced by Bones Howe. So here we go. Called Hot Music, The Mob. Coming off of a record, you can hear the records. Love to sing Cream like that. Love tambourine.
Everybody's getting it on, where they play hot music. The songs that the DJ plays will make you twist and shout, twist and shout, twist and shout. So rub your hands to the butt, where they play hot music. Ooh, rockin' all night long is gonna rock you out. Ow! Na 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 na, na 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 na.
That's fun stuff. God, I totally forgot about this. Here's one called All the Dudes Are Dancing. Let's see what we got with this one here. It's pretty much the same cast of incorrigibles here. Myself on bass, Hal Blaine on drums, Dennis Budimir on guitar, James Holvey on guitar, Mike Melvoin and Tony Nedza on piano, Jimmy Ford on flugelhorn and horn, Gary Bisbier on sax, Al Herrera on sax and vocals, Mike Sistak on trombone, Jimmy Ford on trumpet, and Bobby Ruffino on percussion. And that one is All the Dudes Are Dancing. So let's, here we go. The Mob. Period of Shaft and all of that. Sorry, I caught it off there. Oh, we got one more here. This one is called S period Y period A period. Same cast of knuckleheads here. Myself, Hal Blaine, Dennis Budimir, James Holloway, Tony Nedza, Jimmy Ford, Gary Bisbier, Al Herrera, Mike Sistak, and Jimmy Ford. So let me grab this one. I'm looking out the window here. Let me just double check. God, it's really a big one. I've got rabbits that live in my yard. And it's really funny. I can see a couple of them out there right in the lawn, just kind of nibbling away. And the dogs come out, and the dogs just kind of look across the lawn and stare at them. And then once in a while, they'll go running, and they'll get about 10 feet, and then the rabbits have run into the bushes and disappeared. And dogs just immediately forget that they were there. They are not the big hunters that they were bred to be. That's for sure. They just go, let's go back in and watch TV, and we'll get on the couch and go to sleep again. And then I've got 3 or 4 rabbits that live in the front yard, and every night I put apples out, core the apples out, because apple seeds are not good for them. So I kind of get rid of the seeds and all that and put a couple of apples all chopped up, and boy, in the morning they're gone. I look out late at night and I can see their little white tails out there. It's very cool. Okay, so this is SYA, and again, this is the mob from 1975. What a groove. Hell. Boogie. love it. I love that. That's great. Whole bunch of really good stuff on this album. I'll see how the responses of this. I might go and visit a couple more tracks from this because they are smoking. This is really a fun project. I can't believe I don't remember. Got another one coming up here with Tom Scott playing sax on this also. There's a whole bunch of really good, great stuff on here. I'm going to tuck this one away. So I'm going to get running here. I'm going to run over, get the post office out of the way, dump off the books at the loading dock, and get back home and work on this song, and just take care of a bunch of stuff. But wishing everybody just a great day. You know, the year's completely winding down here, so just my heart again goes out to all of the folks. I mean, I was watching the news this morning, just watching the amount of, like 80% of Southwest Airlines flights have all been canceled. All these families and stuff just sitting in airports for days now, just lost. You know, I mean, it's such utter chaos. In theory, we'll be getting a couple of days of some big rain here, supposedly. It's supposed to be hitting up in the northwest right now and working its way down the coast, but there's like 3 storms all lined up, which would be great for us. The only thing that I'll be concerned with is the January 2nd for the Rose Parade, that everything maybe blows through or it takes a respite. I think in all the years, the 100-some years of the Rose Parade, I think it's only had rain issues like twice or 3 times or something like that. Generally, boy, somebody looks down on this and goes, oh, we'll give them a break today and let everybody sit out there in the sunshine and stuff. So I hope all that goes well. But boy, my heart really is out with all the folks. And there's also a lot of people suffering with between flu and COVID and all this. There's a lot going on that's pretty rough on folks. And I look at the border situation. I see all these families and stuff out there. It's cold, and you know, little babies and kids all bundled up, you know, on the streets. And so it's a crazy world. You always hope for the best every day, and sometimes you do see the best of humanity, and a lot of times you see the worst of humanity, and it's heartbreaking. So take good care. Clubhouse tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with maybe I'll do some more of these guys if everybody digs them. And we will talk later. So, okay, take care. Bye-bye.